Hi everybody, Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice here with you from cold Beach Mountain, North Carolina. My family doing a little bit of a belated Christmas here. Some of us were sick over Christmas, so this is Christmas 2.0 for us. It has been 26 degrees, no snow on this side of the mountain where we're at, but a nice river over here. Probably the coldest weather update I've done in a while, as it is currently 26 degrees. But I'm going to file this in and go back into the cozy cabin here. I promise you, it's quieter out here by the river than it is in this cabin with my family in. But we're having a great time. Wanted to give you an update on the trends that I'm seeing today. One thing we know for sure is that it is going to be bone-chilling cold, much like what I'm experiencing here at 5,000 feet in elevation. Highs are going to be in the 20s and 30s for many of us, with lows in the single digits and teens. Let's map out when, because this thing moving our way has some origins that go all the way back to Canada. And you can see here as this peak of this nasty, nasty cold outbreak gets here middle of next week, you can just trace it out right here. Just open for business is central Canada here. And we get some of the coldest air we've had in a long, long time coming in. Really peaks next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But it really stays cold here as I advance this model out through the 15th of January. So we stay quite cold all the way through here with some interesting looking weather here. Do we get it to match up with any kind of frozen precipitation? That's the key here. Let's just peek right at where it's going to get the coldest. So it's cold this weekend, but round two comes in middle of next week after this front rolls through and this threat for wintry weather for some in the south on Sunday, Monday. But look at this, Wednesday, Thursday morning. Let's go to Thursday morning. Here looks to be the coldest. We've got -5, -6 where I'm at here at Beach Mountain, North Carolina. You got 10 in Asheville, 20, 22 in Greenville, 19 in Charlotte, 20 in Atlanta. You got -10 or so up here toward the Midwest. So some serious cold. And to think that we can make it all the way to the middle of January without seeing any precipitation with that, probably not. You're probably going to see it at some point. So where? I want to show you what all the models are showing. Middle to late of next week, we got a low pressure system on all three of our most reliable computer models today. The European, the GFS, and the Canadian. What they do not agree on is the location, and that's okay, folks. As a meteorologist, I look for trends, especially being that we're 8 to 10 days out. What's it doing? Is it trending up or down? Do they have the pattern identified? All of them are agreeing on the just bone-chilling cold. I'm talking highs in Atlanta, Greenville, and Charlotte in the 30s. Okay, so it's going to be cold. This European model, let's just back it up to show you how it starts. Sunday into Monday, it's held its ground, saying only some freezing rain on the eastern-facing slopes of the mountains here northeast of Asheville up through the high country here. Then that moves out, and we just get really cold. The European says cold and dry until late next week, where it pops off a little Miller A low, just in not an ideal spot here. It's 1,002 low, way out to sea. Too weak and too far out to do anything. So it doesn't really give us anything in the southeast. It keeps the pattern active and cold, but really doesn't give us any pronounced threats. The GFS, on the other hand, is much different. Let's rewind this one. For you snow lovers, peek at the TV right now, peek at your computer screen or your tablet, your phone, wherever you're watching on right now, and just don't screenshot me, okay? Here we go. Sunday, the GFS has gone more in line with the European. So a little bit of high elevation, freezing rain on the eastern-facing slopes of the mountains. Not a big deal for Asheville or the upstate. But it gets us really cold. And here comes this, a southern screaming Miller A system. Big, deep, low-pressure system. Here's where you would probably screenshot me. Let me smile for you. No, don't do that, please. What I'm saying here is that there's a system to watch. This, much like the European, has a low pressure. It's only much lower, deeper pressure, much stronger, and it has a lot more moisture associated with it, and it's closer to the coast. So it slings back a lot more moisture into that cold air, where the European model was way out here and weaker, so it didn't have that power to throw back moisture. Either way, both models show a system. It's just a matter of how close it is. So at this point, I can't write either off, all right? So it is possible we get a system next week. The models are identifying there's going to be action. It's just, does it line up with the cold air that's in place? All the way toward, honestly, the middle of the month is what these models are saying we got to stay kind of frosty for. Oh, that GFS is kind of fantasy land. Shows 10 to 15 inches of snow on that greatest axis of moisture from Myrtle Beach to northern Charleston to Orangeburg and Columbia. Is that possible? Well, yeah, but is it likely? No. Okay. but we'll have to watch it. In these situations, honestly, what could probably happen is this skirts up here toward the mountains in its typical spot, and you see that fade off toward the Midlands. That is certainly possible, and the model's just trying to tell us, hey, I'm identifying something here. You should pay attention, and I am, trust me. The Canadian model is another one we need to look at. It, just like its counterparts, the GFS and the European, have something down here late next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Does it pop off some moisture? Well, the Canadian says yes, and this is a traditional look. Freezing rain, a mix, farther south, sleet, then snow. That's a more of a traditional and more believable scenario here from the Canadian. It goes off the coast here going into next Saturday. So as I look at it, I also look at the ensembles. This is a better way of forecasting hurricanes, rainfall totals, temperatures, or snow. And in this case, I have 51 different runs that I have access to, and nearly 45 of them show some sort of snow for late next week. We just have to keep an eye on it. Does it actually come to fruition? It is certainly possible. GFS, roughly half of the 30 GFS runs have some sort of snow during that time frame. But the real thing is here, how cold it's going to be. This is GSP. Let me do that, KGSP. Make sure I'm in the right airport site. Yeah, here we go. Highs next week, according to the models here, near freezing, lows in the teens. How about Asheville, new run of the GFS and the European here? Want to paint highs in the 20s and 30s with lows in the single digits in the 20s. Oh, you can believe that up here in the high country where I'm at right now with my family would be even colder than that. You'd have lows in the single digits, if not below zero, and those highs in the teens maybe. It will be just awfully, awfully cold. So simply put, we've got a pattern that identifies cold air on all of our models. They all do. It's just a matter of, do we get that to sync up with some sort of moisture? All of the models, all three of them, have a low pressure system. They just disagree on the location. And being that we're 8 to 10 days out, that's okay. I wouldn't expect the models to be that precise. And if anybody's telling you they know, don't trust them. Any meteorologist out there worth his or her weight would tell you that, hey, we only know what we know at certain times in these type situations. And right now, we just don't know exactly where it's going to happen, but we know that there's going to be a low, there is a threat, and it is very cold. So does that produce snow for your town? Maybe. I'll keep you posted, folks. Hope you and your family have a fantastic couple of days here. Happy New Year. And truly, from me and my family and all of us at WYFF4, I want to thank you for your trust during severe weather. It's been a doozy of a couple of months for us in the Western Carolinas. My prayers are still with everyone in Western North Carolina impacted by Helene, Tennessee. It has been a rough go of it for the past couple of months. So thank you for your trust when it comes to any kind of weather. I will keep you posted. Hope you and your family have a good day. I know I am. Got chili on the crock pot in this cabin here we're staying at, right here by the river. Hoping to get a little bit more northwest flow snow. But how about this scenery here? Just really, really beautiful. Got a fire pit we're going to get going here in a little bit. Really nice place here for us to kind of unwind. It's been a little time together here post-Christmas, post-sickness, post-flu. Been terrible, but we're all back on the up and up. So hope you and your family have a great day, and we'll talk soon.